Indian households and games. Whoa, they don't go well together, do they? I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone will even disagree with me when I say that most of us have at least once in our lives received a therapy from our parents for playing games, if you know what I mean. Me personally, I have, let's just say, faced a fair share of struggles in my life as well, just for games. And recently, when I saw my brother playing games on my new laptop, I just recalled those moments, that those were the days when I used to struggle for GTA Vice City and Prince of Persia on my old laptop, and I'd just cry to my relatives and friends to just lend me their pen drives so I could copy the files, and oh boy was it a struggle. Now this video will be a bit different in structure because the last two were just vlogs of my new laptop, and guys, I just can't keep milking it. Alright? This needs to stop because I'm still getting comments of do this and do that and make a video about it. Let's move on from the laptop, guys. Okay, let's move on. Now, since you all have the privilege of being one of my first viewers, just let me know what you think about this type of a video. What you liked and what you didn't, instead of just leaving. Honestly guys, I'm still in awe at the positive feedback and appreciation I've received from all of you on my previous two videos. Let's keep it coming and let's just get it over with this experience story I have, which is unforgettable and etched into my memory. So let's just get it over with. So first things first, how did I even get into games? My mama, or my mother's brother, he had a desktop and he was into games. So whenever we used to visit him, he would let me play on his desktop. And those 2 hours of playtime was the best time of my life in that moment. These were the only moments of joy where I was interacting with an electronic machine known as computer non-educationally. I mean, who wants to open MS Word or Tux Paint in a computer lab? Come on guys. Now I didn't have a PC or laptop back then, so this was the only exposure I had towards computers. Mobiles were not as powerful back then, so I had almost none options as mobile games. All I had was Temple Run or Angry Birds. Or Subway Surfers if you're lucky. I didn't even know how to download more games. I didn't even know about the existence of Play Store. I thought it was just a Google app. So yeah guys, times were tough for your gamer Saubhagya. Humble beginnings guys, humble beginnings. Until my father got a laptop as an award for his exceptional work at his workplace. But my father did not know how to integrate the laptop into his work because he did most of it by writing things down manually and not keeping a record in a computer. So he basically disowned his own prize. And what happens to something that is disowned by the father? You're right, it gets taken over by the son. So now I had a laptop. Now I don't remember the exact model name, but it was somewhere around Dell Inspiron 14R or something. Now let me quickly break down the specs for you because boy were they flashy. An Intel Pentium i3 second generation processor, 2GB of DDR3 RAM, 1TB HDD storage, an LCD display of I don't know what resolution, it was glass at this point, it was so reflective, and not to forget the beastly, the mega mammoth 256 MB of iGPU, 256 MB. But just like money gets inflated along the years, tech gets outdated along the years. So although these specs might seem pretty bad, although they were not as low as compared to those times standards. It was a solid mid-ranger laptop, albeit not a gaming laptop, but it was enough to get my father's work done. And me being me, even though I did not know anything about specs and compatibility, I took the mammoth task upon myself to get some games running on this beast machine. Now surprisingly, the games I played like GTA Vice City and Need for Speed Most Wanted, they were pretty compatible with these specs because almost any PC could run them. They were so light. I also got Prince of Persia, Warrior Within from my mama, and these 3 games became my life. Every day I would come back from school and just get on the game. My mother would scold me so much, she would even beat me at times. I was restricted to a playtime of about 1.5 hours, but I would just sneak in some extra minutes whenever I'd find the opportunity. Now just to remind you, all of these games were pirated copies. Because obviously you don't pay for a game, come on, duh. Now before you start thrashing me on moral and ethical grounds, I did not even know piracy was a thing. I just thought games were copyable files you'd just get from a shopkeeper or your relative or a friend. Why would you pay for them? They're just files. You got it from a friend, who got it from another friend, who got it from some unknown website, I don't know, you just did not pay for them. That's the whole philosophy behind games in Indian households. Because, say it with me, because games are bad. Yeah. Anyways, so these games became the backbone of my entire gaming life, and I would just play them for the next 2 or 3 years until a friend of mine called me over one day. He wanted to show me a game and I thought, okay. And when I got there, he showed me GTA 5. Now imagine a boy who has played in these graphics all his life, and now he gets to see these graphics. I mean, the sheer magnitude of change in almost everything in the entire game is enough to just catch you off guard. I played GTA 5 with him for the first time, and the entire time the only thought running through my mind was, I want to run it on my laptop. Yeah, I did not care about the specs, the size or anything because I did not even know them. I just thought, this is a game, so it can run on my laptop as well. Now whenever I used to go to my friend's house, I would take my 8GB pen drive with me just in case I found any game good, so I just could copy the files. So basically 8GB was the entire spectrum of my understanding of how large a game can be. Surely there will never be a game larger than 8GBs, right? That was my thinking. So with a confident smug on my face and fascinated eyes, I took out the pen drive from my pocket and gave him, telling him, hey, please load the game in the pen drive for me. I want to play it on my PC. And I kid you not, this was his reaction. So the next 15 minutes he spent explaining me how the game was too large to fit into any pen drive I or he had, and I should just download the game from some unknown website if I want to play it, just like he did. Even he did not know that laptop I had was too humble to even start the game, let alone run it. A heartbroken me came back home with only one thought in mind. I want to download GTA 5 on my laptop. So I searched the internet that night for any copies of GTA 5 available online. After surfing through some very legitimate, completely non-harmful websites, I finally came across a website where I could technically download GTA 5. It was a 38GB file. Now that was a big problem because this is 2015 we are talking about. Internet wasn't as free as it is today. You bought around 10 to 15GB of data for the entire month. Yeah. And this file was almost 3 times that. And I was about to spend it all on just one file in one day. My parents would have just kicked me out if I had done that, so I had to take another route out. And boy, was this the most embarrassing mistake of my life. So I searched on Google how to download GTA 5 in 10 MB. Yeah, that's what I searched. Don't look at me like that. Even you would have done something like this, right? And I clicked search. I mean, at that point, the Google app should have just slapped me right on my face. Like, what you talking about, mate? Like, even NASA does not have that technology right now. What you talking about, man? But lo and behold, because the results actually came, and to my surprise, I realized that I was actually being quite generous by providing a 10 MB window, because there was a guy who was providing me GTA 5 under 2 MB.
Hell no, man.
I'm not even kidding. That's what his video title said, and of course I believed him because first of all in the thumbnail the guy could be seen screaming for his life along with the letters GTA 5 written, so obviously it was legitimate, and in the title of the video the words highly compressed were written in all caps in parentheses, so obviously it was completely legit. Now you know the result right now of what would have happened. Of course, GTA 5 cannot be compressed to such a small storage, but I didn't know this. So I spent the next few weeks getting scammed again and again, downloading things I shouldn't have downloaded that probably would have put virus in my computer so many times. But I downloaded each time hoping for a different result, and each time I would only run into disappointment. What amazes me even now is that these 2 MB files used to have an entire setup inside them, and whenever I'd click it, they'd show a massive loading bar with the title Unpacking. Buddy, what the hell are you unpacking? What on earth can you unpack out of 2 megabytes of file size? Like, even the lowest quality photos in today's era are more than 2 MBs. Talking about some unpacking. This was an episode that repeated each time I downloaded any such file. But the young me would look at that loading bar filling slowly each time with patience in my mind, sitting at the screen as if it was actually doing something on my laptop. Every time it would finish, I'd just run into some error or some DLL missing. And I was so invested into all this that I even tried to download these missing DLL files separately. And each time I would download one, it would show some other DLL missing. And at this point, I was just downloading the entire game's files separately. Nothing was going to happen, guys, as you would already have guessed by now, but the little me didn't know any better. So I tried and tried and tried each time only to fail. So after countless failed attempts and multiple very productive therapies from my mother for finishing her daily data limit for downloading files in just 1 hour, I finally decided to call it a day and accept my fate. The sun of fortune was not seeming to be dawning upon me, and the future didn't seem any bright either. Nothing was happening. Not that anything could happen, but I decided to finally give up. So I consoled myself somehow and got back into my usual games. Until the second window of opportunity opened right back for me in a few weeks. Or so I thought. You see, I would have been happy with my usual games. I would have never thought about GTA 5 because I had accepted my fate. But 1 year later, one of my classmates, who was a real boaster by the way, he bragged about how he had many computers on which he had all kinds of games, including GTA 5. Now if you recall that time, classmates literally used to brag about anything to each other. No matter if it was true or false, no matter if they were eating just 1 meal per day, they would just say that they have a jet parked inside their house lobby and they would be believed. There was no way of proving or disapproving anyone's claims. Whatever you said became your truth. So when I heard the name GTA 5, I felt like I was running into my crush after months of separation, and oh boy were the feelings still there. Since then I just used to flock around that guy asking questions like, bro, do you really have GTA 5? Can you give it to me somehow? How did you get it? Can I play it? Can you just give me some flash drive or something, like a CD, DVD, whatever you have? I'll just copy the files and give it to you the next day. And oh boy did he love the attention, because I was one of the good students of the class, so me being around him meant he was better than me. I became such a sycophant for him. Like whenever he was in trouble, I'd try to cover things up for him just in the hope that he'd let me borrow the game from him. This continued for over a few months and our annual examinations came. Now I requested him one last time very wholeheartedly, and finally he said yes, okay, I'll give you the CD. But I want both of your Trimaxes in return. Now if you're not an Indian, you probably do not know the significance of Trimax pens in Indian classrooms. Let me explain. If you had these bad boys in your pouch or pencil box, you were the undisputed king of the class. There was no denying it. You'd just be the coolest kid ever because you were rich and you had the most prolific pens ever. Now I had been gifted mine just the previous month on my birthday by a relative, so they meant something for me. Also, I have been an avid reader throughout my life. I love books and I love writing, so in turn I love pens as well. So this deal was really taking something away from me. But I thought it was fair. I was getting something I had pursued for so long, and in return I was giving something substantial from my own desk. So it was good. Okay. So we both mutually agreed on the deal, and he said that he would give me the CD on the last day that is the last exam, but he needed the pens right now so that he could write with them during the exam. I protested initially, but then I thought it's okay. It's not like he's going to run away mid-exam. He has to appear for the last exam, so he has to come to school and he will face me then. So he has to give me the CD. So the exams happened and he did come on the last day. I did manage to meet him during the dispersal and he did give me a CD. The CD had GTA 5 written on it. So it felt really reassuring. I was so happy. This was the moment I had been waiting for months and I thanked him so many times for it. And when he left, I came back home and I quickly put the CD into my laptop and it was not GTA 5. It was not even a game. It was a DVD copy of a B-grade Hindi movie that no one had watched in the entire country. That's what it was. My heart sank and I didn't have his number, so I could not call him. Our school had a month-long break between the annual examinations and the new session, so I waited for that entire break. And when I returned school to meet him and confront him, I got to know that he had left the school. Nowadays, when I play games on my new laptop, or when I see my brother doing the same, or when someone tells me that it's just because my laptop is new that I'm caring about it so much, I recall that time as a kid when I just used to enjoy the game without caring about the FPS or the graphics, just because I was happy that I was getting to experience something. Trust me, people, and do not ever let that kid inside you die. Be grateful for what you have right now, and when you eventually have better things in life, which you will, by the way, you'll be grateful for them even more. That's a wrap for the video. I hope you liked it. Please let me know if you liked this kind of a narrative video. I have a lot of stories to tell, but I'm just a bit nervous and vulnerable when I'm doing this because I just do not know if the people are actually enjoying it or they're just getting bored by it. Please feel free to comment your thoughts below and just let me know about what you want to see improve in future videos. Trust me guys, I'm very grateful about the support you're already giving me and I only wish to improve from here.